Practicality is, ironically, difficult to define. It's something that doesn't look exactly the same for each person. We all wish we could be more practical though. The question is, how can you do it? Let's take a look at the 10 signs of a practical person and talk a little bit about how you, yourself, can become more practical. Here are 10 signs of a practical person. Number 1. They're efficient. One of the biggest keys to being a practical person is efficiency. Practicality is all about what happens when the rubber hits the road. Just talking about practicality is inherently impractical. Actions, on the other hand, are practical. Therefore, someone who is efficient in all they do is inherently a practical person. Their efficiency leads to the ability to get things done in a manner that doesn't waste time or energy. Indeed, waste of any kind is impractical. The more efficient you can be, the more practical you are. For instance, a practical person doesn't waste time deliberating. They quickly assess the situation and take decisive action. Time spent waffling back and forth, paralysed with indecision, is time wasted. Number 2, they're clear and straightforward. Practical people don't like to mince words. They mean what they say, and they say what they mean. Of course, they're not going to be rude or untactful. However, they will always be clear. Their intentions will be well known, their goals easily understood, and their actions obvious to understand. They will be straightforward and speak plainly. This translates into their actions as well. They are clear and decisive, as this leads to a great amount of practicality. If you're looking to understand the signs of a practical person, know that one of the biggest is their ability to be clear and straightforward. Communication is a big part of being practical. If intentions aren't clear, if people aren't on the same page, then nothing can get done. There will be a distinct lack of efficiency. Number 3, they manage their time well. Time management is an integral part of being a practical person. Someone who is really good at managing the time they do have is very practical. They analyse their habits, making sure that they aren't wasting any valuable time scrolling, dozing, worrying, or dallying. They know that if they are focused and efficient when they need to be, they'll have more time to relax at the end of the day. Number 4, they're highly self-aware. Someone who's practical isn't exactly going to ignore themselves. They, by nature or by discipline, know how to see the whole picture and set aside their personal feelings and perspectives. They do this because they don't want to miss anything. They do it because they're a practical person. Being self-aware is not only healthy, it's also very practical. Being aware of your thoughts, feelings, responses, and so on will allow you to monitor yourself, keep a level head, and achieve your goals. Self-awareness involves understanding various aspects of the self. Self-awareness is a state of mind where you become the focus of your attention. Number 5, they're always flexible. Practicality is not the same as rigidity. It might seem like a practical person is someone who gets everything done exactly as they planned when they planned it. However, that's not the case. Being practical involves understanding that we live in a world of contingency. Nothing always goes as planned. Therefore, it's practical to be flexible. Someone who is practical is able to go with the flow, ride the wave, roll with the punches. They aren't fazed when the train rolls right off the tracks, as it often does. Instead, they're able to take things as they come and adapt their game plan according to their ever-changing circumstances. In this way, they can still reach their goals, achieve what they need to, and be successful. Number 6, they're goal-oriented. In a similar vein to the last point, being goal-oriented is one of the big signs of a practical person. Instead of focusing on all the little steps needed to reach a certain achievement, it's far more practical to focus on the goal. There are going to be countless roadblocks along your journey to success and fulfillment, or in reaching a specific goal. If you're too focused on the steps directly in front of you, it becomes easy to lose sight of your vision, to get discouraged and lose your momentum. However, with the goal clearly in mind at all times, it becomes a lot easier to overcome obstacles and build a trajectory that will keep you on the right track, no matter how much your life around you changes. Number 7, they're proud of their accomplishment. A practical person is also a positive person. Their outlook is resoundingly based in realism. However, putting a positive spin on things will lead to more success, happiness, and fulfillment. There's no need for a practical person to wallow in negativity to focus too much on the failures. Instead, they are able to acknowledge their accomplishments freely. They're proud of what they've achieved so far, and they use that sense of satisfaction to fuel their current endeavours. In that way, then, practical people use their accomplishments to keep themselves on track and to stay positive even when things are really rough or aren't working out in their favour. Number 8. They're consistent. Practical people are also consistent. They realise that if they want to have success, it takes diligent and consistent effort. Very rarely does anything happen overnight. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes steady work. There's no half effort that's worth it to a practical person. If they want to accomplish a goal, they dedicate themselves fully to it. In other words, if it's your time, it's worth all your attention. Number 9. They have drive. Practical people have a lot of drive. It's necessary in order to get things done, to accomplish goals, to give your life direction. Drive is an internal motivation to succeed. Some people inherently have a lot of it, some people don't really. But that doesn't mean success and practicality are only reserved for those who inherently have a drive to succeed. In fact, drive is something that can be learned and practiced. Like any other number of healthy habits, you can develop the ability to motivate yourself. It takes effort and discipline, however, it is doable. And remember, practicality applies in every part of your life. If you have drive, you have the ability to be practical, successful, and play a proactive part in your day-to-day life. Number 10. They're grounded. One of the biggest signs of a practical person is their ability to stay grounded. A practical person may be a dreamer, with big goals, aspirations, and a desire to achieve what they might seem impossible. However, they exist squarely in reality. What does that mean? It means that no matter what, they stay grounded with what's around them. Their practicality tethers them to the here and now. That's why they are able to achieve their dreams. Instead of idly daydreaming and wishing on stars, practical people aren't afraid to get their hands dirty, to put in the work that it takes to reach those dreams. Practical people keep themselves connected to real life, the day-to-day, and take things one step at a time. A practical person doesn't concern themselves with ifs or potential problems. Whatever circumstances there are directly around them, they deal with and find solutions for.